Hi, my name is Matt with Retrospective Games, and that is Soda Piggy.
Hey.
And together we made a little game called Axe Cop, and it just turned 1 year old. So by the time you're watching this, you'll probably have already known that, or you're learning for the first time, which is good for you because it's great. Today we're gonna kind of talk about it, what the production was like, and just talk about some memories of making a really great game. So we had some people write in some questions for us, and we wrote some of our own. So here we go. You ready, James?
I'm always ready.
Yeah?
No, I'm not.
Alright,
let's do it.
What do you think worked the best about the game?
Honestly, I really like the battle system, the way that you designed that, because that was all you. I like the way you can't just, like, mash the space button to, like, spam your way through battles like some RPGs are known for, but you actually have to very carefully, like, pick which characters you want to work with because they're better for the situation than others. I think that was a nice consideration. And then I also really like the puzzles that we designed for it. There's some pretty good ones, especially in, like, the mid and later levels. Some fun stuff. What about you?
I like the battles too, but I think worked the best about the game. Well, I guess to touch on the battle thing. Well, a big problem I have with RPGs is sometimes you're limited by the equipment you go into a battle with. So, like, if you don't have a ton of items, you're gonna lose. So you want to use your special moves. So I think the best way to be encouraged to use your special moves is if there was a system in place with all the characters to not necessarily be super forgiving, but have the option to get more of your move points to do your moves again. So that's one thing I like, is all your default attacks, you get some MP back. You have a charge move where it like lets you get a big clump of MP. So that was something I think was probably one of the best parts about the game. But I think my favorite part about the game is just I got a little obsessive about it, but oh, there's a dog right there. Don't look at his butt. Don't look at his butt.
He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like people looking at his butt. He just doesn't like it.
He's self-conscious. Let him.
Yeah. He's sleeping on the blanket now, far away from where he was showing his butt.
I got one on here. You can't see him. Hey, Aki.
Oh my God!
Hey,
double dogs.
You good boy. Aku, you good boy.
That's all
right.
French.
Sorry, got sidetracked by our animals.
Puppies. They're always puppies.
They are.
I like. I got a little OCD about it, but I like how much of the comic is in there. And I don't think when we started it was always going to be that super stuffed. But then it got to the point where it was just like everything. Everything was in there. And I love that it's kind of the ultimate anniversary game. And the battles help complement that. So I like that a lot about it.
Yeah.
What do you think we could have done differently?
Honestly, like I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So, given the limitations we had with the engine we were working on, I can't think of anything that really changed. I think we did the best we could with the tools we had and the time we had. I think like there's some stuff I wish we could have had in the game that we didn't, like story elements and stuff from the books, but
what story elements did we not include? Because everything's in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, just some other, like, little side content. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's my stuff.
There's only so much two dudes can do.
Yeah, that's true. It was a small team. We've already done so much. Yeah.
If you remember, the game was going to be a brawler for a very small amount of time. But, as you said, we didn't have the time, because neither one of us have built a brawler. You would have been coding it. And
I think it would have had to, because it would have had to have been in something like Game Maker or Unity.
And for us to make the game the way we made it and make it successful, we kind of had to use our strengths, which, you know, like I'm pretty good with the OHR, and you're really solid with the pixel art and the music, and I can't really. It wouldn't be very fair if you did majority of the work, and then, you know, we were trying to make a balanced game with two dudes, so we had to appeal to our strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. and like we've talked about before, like to do like a brawler, that would have been like a whole thing because neither one of us is like skilled in programming those. Like we would have been like 6 months of production just to get like an engine going for it that we were happy with, even with like placeholder like art and stuff. And then it would have been a whole thing after that to actually build out the game. So given the time constraints, I think we honestly did the best we could, and I think an RPG, like you said, playing to your strengths was definitely the way to go.
It's the way to go in everything, I think. It's just there's a time to learn new things, and there's a time to just focus on what you're good at.
Yep.
What was your favorite piece of Axe Cop lore that was added to the game?
You want to go take this one first? Or no, you're drinking. I'll take it first. So
it's just regular Diet Coke.
Put some in there. Have a fun Sunday. Fun day Sunday. So mine was probably the working in lore into the move sets for battle. So Axe Cop has this thing where it's like it's called like Lemon Slice or something, and that's like straight out of like a comic book where he like powers up his axe with a lemon slice to do an attack.
Becomes
and I was
Axe Cop
like,
with lemon.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's so silly. It's straight out of the comic book, and I think after we started doing that with the characters, like pulling a bunch from like the lore to like build up their moveset, I was like, this is great. It's really like, you know, a little tip of the hat to people that are longtime fans of the comics, and I just think it was the right thing to do, and that's honestly why it's one of my favorite things. I love building in lore to actual engine stuff. It makes it feel more cohesive and intentional.
Super stuff. Yeah, when we initially pitched the game to Ethan, we didn't have those. We just had like he had like enrage, charge, or the fire move. Oh my god, that's our anniversary mug. Second or Axeversary.
That was the second one, yeah.
Axeversary 2019 mug.
Yep.
The hero mug is maybe defeated by the villains.
Yeah, honestly, I think we did better with this one. Like the
it's
way
such
the
a
villains look on this one.
It's so classy looking, and they're so fun. I still have 3 of those.
Oh, you do? That's awesome.
Yep. I'm gonna give them away at some point in time.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Because what am I gonna do with 3 extra mugs? I've got one in a display case and then one I use, so I don't need 3 extra ones.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, when we pitched the game to Ethan, we didn't have the lore moves, like you said, and then like once we started with the lore moves, it just kind of stayed. So that was fun. And some characters, they're not like 100% lore, but like most of Axe Cop's moves are like lore based.
Yeah.
And that was really fun. Like he gets the tiger move, like he gets the tiger powers. He learns the best fairy ever's like as a summon attack. He summons a wave of owls. He even learns the super secret move from the super secret attack from Book Cop, which is from that story arc in itself. So that was fun. But my favorite piece of lore, I think, is just that the entire my favorite book from the whole thing is Bad Guy Earth, and I love that Bad Guy Earth is the foundation of this entire game, and everything else just supports it. And it was so fun how everything connects to that Bad Guy Earth story. It was just fun. It was just a time of my life putting that kind of crap in there. What was the easiest part of the whole process for you making the game?
Let me think about that. You go first.
Well, I've been making games with that clown over there for a very long time, so the easiest part was just making a game that I was very passionate to do with my best friend. And, I mean, it doesn't get easier than working with people that you actually like working with.
Yeah, for real.
We have a bit of a shorthand, so,
yeah,
it's easy to kind of move faster when the other person knows what the other person's thinking.
Yeah. Well, we've been friends for, what, how long now? Like...
eternity.
Yeah, right? Like, we started working, like, making games, at least, like, in the same game design community for more than 10 years, man. 20... 15?
It was, let's see. We've made some little things. We didn't
It's
actually make
been-
a real game until 2012 or 2011 is when we started making games together. So
Yeah.
we've been making games we've been making games for Red Triangle Games for 10 years, but we've been making games together longer than that. So I say 15 is probably fair.
Yeah, sounds about right. For me, okay, I sound like a dick if I don't say making a game with my best friend now. Thanks for that, Matt.
You told me to go first. You told me to go first.
Yeah, that was a mistake. No, honestly, I think that was definitely the best part of it. But if I had to pick something else, it would maybe be like all the character design portraits and stuff, because there was a ton of pre-existing images of these characters that I then had to like turn into pixel art, and just having like this.
You just traced them.
Yeah, for a good number of them, I like would use the thing as like a way to like trace, get the general form, and then I would clean up in pixel art so it doesn't just look like absolute garbage. And tracing in pixel art is not the same as like tracing with like just pen and paper. Like you have to go back in and like anti-alias and all this other crap to make it like look good.
Yeah.
But it was still one of the easiest things because there was so much of it that I could pull, use that as the base to start with, and like I didn't have to like think up new character designs and stuff like that. There was this pre-existing, like I say, wealth of like content there. So for that reason, it was super easy. More fun answer is the stuff that was hard. Is that the next question?
No, but we can talk about the things that were most difficult, like the Everything Man and the Bad Guy Mara.
Yeah.
Bad Guy Mara is so much fun. He was so much fun to do. I don't really want to go super deep into him because I don't want to ruin his like plot points, but he was so much fun. Or I guess you can kind of say one thing is he's the in-between stage of the Everything Man.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun, like, picking the animals and stitching them together. Because each one has, like, a very significant... Like, each part of him is, like, totally significant. And that was just super fun.
Yeah, that was one of the more fun pieces of art, like, the battle art for me to do. Honestly, that's both the most fun and the most difficult thing that I worked on in the game was the battle art for the enemies. Because there were so many different types. They all had to look good at a certain size, and also like the screen was more like for the bad guys to fit in was more wide than it was tall. So for big enemies, getting them to have like a good presence and also like not look like we just stretched them sideways to look big, that was hard. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. Also getting like all the different poses and stuff like that. Like it was hard, but super fun.
There was a bunch of times where you were able to continue the trace over, like a lot of the Ben Matanga guys you were able to use, and there was several boss battles.
Their faces, their faces were pretty easy to do that with. Issues we ran into was mostly poses and stuff like that because there was like no good content for that.
No, because a lot of characters were drawn like 2 or 3 times, and they weren't drawn in a way that we could easily use for a battle system.
Yeah.
Enough for reference purposes, but not enough to copy.
And yeah, like a lot of comic books it's like there's always a lot of face shots that you can pull from, and you'd be like, oh, that angle works, this angle works, and that's great. But then you have to like build a pose around that from scratch because like there's no good pose with that face to like draw inspiration from or like be able to copy to build on. And it just like becomes a whole thing. Like I said, definitely the most hard, but also the most fun.
It's challenging. It's always fun to challenge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite convention moment?
I got a lot of those.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
Okay, there were a lot of people that came over and were just like really excited to play the game.
Yes.
And I love seeing the very different types of people that liked Axe Cop. I was like, none of these people like can you pigeonhole into, oh, it's this type of person that likes Axe Cop. I was like, this is a wide group of very different people with different life experiences that are still like, oh yeah, this is awesome. That was really cool to see, just like the diversity of people that are into Axe Cop.
I think one of my favorite things is that the convention, or for PAX South that we did in 2020, literally happened right before COVID, because we would have totally not been able to do it if it was like the very next. If it was the very next month, it would have all been canceled. So we got super lucky. But all joking aside, I had done Orlando IX I think a year, maybe 2 years before PAX. And so I kind of knew a little bit of what you were talking about. But my favorite part was, I think, PAX South, I think, was the push we needed in inspiration. At least I think it happened for you the most. Because I was already pumped, like the whole game production. Is you got to see firsthand how much people loved our game.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting being able to see you see the joy that I saw at Orlando IX.
Yeah. God, that was really fun.
I definitely wore the wrong shoes because my feet were killing me.
Yeah, man. We were standing so many hours for like 3 days.
Yes.
In a row, just straight. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. So PAX South, did you hear? They're like,
it's done.
At least for the time being.
It's done.
Yep. They're not holding
it
anymore.
We did the last one ever.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. Like, I'm gonna miss that.
It does, because it's in your town. And it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have one in Austin also, but I'm like, I don't want to go to Austin.
Isn't that the one with more music?
Yeah. I mean, Austin's fine. It's less my vibe than San Antonio is. I think, just for me, I like having something close that was like a big event that I could go to every year. And I love video games. I love getting out, seeing the community, and I don't want to drive like 2 hours to go somewhere else when it was like so nice to just have right here.
You realize I drove 15 hours for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I cannot argue with that.
And here you are complaining about 2 hours.
Yeah. That's okay. I stand by that.
What is your favorite memory of working on the game?
There are a ton of really good memories I have from working on the game. But honestly, I think some of my favorite stuff was just doing the music. I had a lot of fun, like, crafting the different themes for the different characters and then, like, working them into other pieces of music that were in the soundtrack as a way to, like, you know, nod to this character or that character in, like, a meaningful way. That I had just, like, a ton of fun working on. It's also something that you and I were, like, able to gel on pretty well after the first couple. And I really liked that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think my favorite memory is, it's definitely it's not the most flattering memory, but it was, you and I, no, it's not bad.
I'm just, where is this going?
You and I, embarrassing memory, what could it be? No, it was when we were making the demo for Ethan to get approval, like the green light for the game.
Yeah.
And just how hard and how fast we worked on that Land of Volcanoes level, get Axe Cop and Flute Cop to feel just right. Like, and then, like, it was... The embarrassing part is, like, we would have, like, little rehearsals on Skype before we would talk to Ethan because we wanted to sound really legit.
Yeah.
So,
I remember.
But that was my favorite memory, is just how hard we prepared to get this game and how much we worked for it, and that's my favorite memory. Because I love the Land of Volcanoes still. Like, it's great. We changed the colors on it, which, you know, is fine. But
it was the right choice.
It was. But I still love the shape of the level. I love all of it. Yeah, that's
It's a really good introductory level that teaches
I think so.
you the basics really early on and really cleanly.
I think so too. We'll continue your music thing. So what's your favorite song you wrote for the game and why?
I have two. I can't pick between the two. It's just got to be both. So one is the boss battle theme.
Yeah.
Which first of all is a big deal because like it's the only time like you get a break in the music of the level into a battle. So it's like a really meaningful like jump there because usually the background music is like it's got enough like energy to it and everything that we use that like throughout even into the battles and it gels really well. But for it to like just suddenly boom, music's different and you're in a fight, it's just like it works really well. I like that I was able to work the main Axe Cop theme into the boss battle music.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. Being able to do that in a fun way. Yeah, and I love that one. That was a fun one to work on.
It's a good one.
And then my second one is
Doesn't that
Land
have
of
a siren?
Volcanoes.
Doesn't it have a siren?
Yeah, it's kind of siren. It's just like but like when you're going in, yeah. Very intentional choices with that one. And then Land of Volcanoes is my other one. Partially because it's like the first level theme I did. Yes, but also because I like making music that like sounds like it belongs in the area you're in, and I was really happy with how that one turned out. I was like, oh yeah, this sounds like a lava level.
Yeah,
this will work.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm out.
I'm out. Peace out, guys. Game's over. Interview's over.
Oh my
Retrospective, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
Discussion.
What about you? You got a favorite song in the soundtrack?
I like the Snow Planet level theme. It's not necessarily my favorite song, but it's my favorite song collab because that was the first time that we kind of understood the vibe for future levels. Because like you nail the Land of Volcanoes, and here we are. Now we gotta build the rest of the game because we already got the Land of Volcanoes was there at the presentation, so now we gotta continue.
Yeah.
So like the original version was a little bit more whimsical, snowy, and because we don't do battle themes for a very specific purpose, is because like we don't want to have that break in momentum. We want to just continue the whole thing over and over. So that means having one very, very interesting song for about an hour and a half. So it's got to be great. And like the big reason that I was wanting to do that with you is because like that's what Mega Man does. And a lot of what I was thinking of was like, okay, this isn't Mega Man, but we can definitely do some stuff that worked in Mega Man. And that's having a kick-ass song for every stage of the level, besides the boss theme, which is also what Mega Man did.
Yeah, and that's another thing that was kind of hard. It was like, how do you make a like jammin' background song that'll work for battles, but also not like not be too driving sometimes for just the fact that you're walking about in a level, and like really balancing on that tightrope. That was a little difficult, but yeah, I think Snow Planet that's really where it all started. Like us being able to pull that off, and it took a little bit of work back and forth. Yeah, that's absolutely.
The game vibe really like gelled, I think, is at the Snow Planet.
It's like we figured out the formula moving forward to make this work. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite character?
Sakurang. Not least of which because he kind of looks like me.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah. Just throw socks at my enemies.
So when are you gonna tell your wife you're cutting your arms off to replace them with socks? Or are you just gonna surprise her one day?
Today's probably not a good day. Maybe
wait till after the holidays.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah, December 26th.
Socks. Well, Christmas. You get socks as present. That's the perfect time to do it. I'll be able to be like, I like these. These are the best looking ones. These are my new arms.
These are my new arms. Thanks. Thanks for the Christmas gift. Now I'm losing my arms.
Yeah. I mean, the Sakurang seems to be just fine with just sock arms.
He's getting by.
Makes it work.
He's getting by. He can still do everything that you would want to do just with socks.
Yep.
I think my favorite character, and it's a little probably cliche, is Axe Cop. Because like, my
favorite character is the main character. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Axe Cop's game, so like he has the majority of the speaking parts. So like, I had to read all of his books like easily 10 times each, or more. And several times I would go back and just like reference them because I wanted to make sure every piece of dialogue that I didn't pull from the comics sounded like what Malachai and Ethan would have wrote.
Yeah.
So
didn't some of the time you like actually reached out to Ethan to be like,
yeah,
does this work?
I definitely had a lot of insecurities about creating new things, and then eventually Ethan was like, "Look, man, you're doing a very good job. I trust you." And then like that responsibility didn't help the anxiety, but like it definitely pushed me into writing the best content I could for the game, knowing that, you know, the co-creator of the franchise trusted me that much.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite memories, because Axe Cop is my favorite, but like when Ethan was playing the game on the Babylon Bee channel, and he's like, "It's not fair that they wrote better dialogue than we did." I was like, "Oh my god, I really did kick ass," and I just like it felt really good.
I bet that felt nice.
Yeah, it was
like
it was
just
pretty
being
cool.
like, oh, one of the people that created this is happy with my writing.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
That I handled his thing, his baby, like that good. Like it just, I don't know. It's a huge honor. It feels fucking terrific, effing terrific.
Yeah. To be like, oh yeah, I handled this the way they would have wanted me to.
Yeah.
That makes you feel good and like you like all your effort paid off. Yeah.
So what changed during production of the game, do you think?
A lot of things changed. So
Good
when
answer.
we started working on it, huh?
I said good answer.
Yeah. A lot of things changed. Well, when we first started working on this together, I was living in Japan at the time. And then about maybe a year and a half into production, like I moved back to the States with my now wife. And we moved to San Antonio in our first house, and then we moved to our second house, and then I got married. You came out there. You were my best man. Thank you, by the way. And then after that, we got a house. We moved to our house. This was in the height of COVID, when it first was like kicking off that we were like moving, and that was scary as heck. But we moved in, and
Literally,
work really picked up. Yeah,
maximum life.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I mean, personal stuff happened, but that's fine. I guess some of the bigger things, because my personal things aren't as glamorous as yours.
Dude, like stuff happens. Life
happened. Life happened to both of us. But like we our game engine updated throughout the course of the thing.
Oh yeah, that made a lot of really cool stuff possible that we originally didn't have, and my dog's freaking out. Aku, come here, buddy. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's just he's just coming to kill us all.
He's gonna bark at stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Remember when custom sprite size changes happened?
Dude,
we were stitching
that
together
was a
two
game
enemies.
changer.
We were stitching together two enemies.
Yep.
And then suddenly we don't have to plan enemies out by 80 by 80. Well, we can just make them whatever size we want. That was really, really awesome. And that happened midway through the game, I would think.
Yeah.
After the snow planet is when that happened.
Yeah, because I remember when we first made the T-Rex boss for the Land of Volcanoes, that was still two sprites that we had like put together. Yeah. And we had that mechanic where like his mouth opened and closed and all that stuff.
And it was clunky because it was two enemies and it would wobble. But now it's like seamless and it looks terrific.
Yeah. I'm so glad that update happened.
Yes.
It really, really changed a lot about our production line. Yeah.
And as of I think this week, maybe soon. We haven't tested it yet, but Steam achievements are gonna happen. I've been working on that for the anniversary. I've got 49 of them planned out, and they're all terrific and hilarious, and all direct comic references, so they're fun.
Love it.
Yeah, it's been fun doing the Steam achievements and stuff.
The lemon one, when you first get your lemon thing, you should call it gets juiced or something like that.
Well, they're all direct quotes from the comic.
Oh, I love that.
Like,
I love it.
Let me see if I have.
Can you give us a couple examples?
So like when you meet Baby Man, it says "Shake what your baby gave you," which is what he says in the comics. When you go inside of the King of All Bad Guys, the achievement's called 5 o'clock bedtime, because that's what time he goes to bed, so he can wake up early to kill people.
Okay.
Let's see. Here's another funny one. This is a little, I guess, a tip for people. If you go to the fighting zoo and you fight Captain Axe and Axe Girl, after that fight, Axe Girl Axe Cop repaints Captain Axe's RV, which is a nod to the comic. But the achievement is obese tigers are my favorite because they are the most rare. So little things like that. And they're all things that were said in the comics. Like I'm not making any of these up. Like they're all just. I mean, if I have to make them up, I'm making them up. But like,
yeah,
it's the same logic of the game. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm using the source material first.
Yeah, use source material as much as possible, and then create new stuff where you can't. Yeah.
So that'll hopefully be live for the anniversary.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to play the game and suddenly you kill Vampire Man Baby Kid and he goes, "Blah!" Because that's the sound that he makes when he...
Yeah.
Was there any content that we plan to do that you wish was able to make it into the game?
Yes. Bat Warthog Man's Bat Warthog Cave. / mansion. I don't know why. I always wanted to like explore that. So like that was one of my favorite things, like in like Batman and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, you get a Bruce Wayne's banner and like all that stuff in the movies or whatever. And I was just like, I like that. We
were gonna do that where you push the button on the piano and the bookcase opens and then you go to the Bat Warthog Cave. We're gonna use all the Batman logic and like Easter eggs that we could for that, but we were running out of time, so we had to cut it down, and it wasn't really helping the plot of the game.
It wasn't. It would have just been like for aesthetics and funsies.
It would have just been for fun, and it would have taken forever to draw all of that to make all of it work. It would have been super fun, but it just didn't. It wasn't necessary for the game.
Yeah.
I think the level that I wish that we did, but we realized pretty early on how long production of some of these levels could take, is I wanted to do Magic World. But you take a world of Magic World in a game franchise like Axe Cop, where it's all based on spontaneity, and Magic World is super spontaneous. So it's like you take the Axe Cop formula and then you amplify it, and it's just like there's no way we could have done that and done it well in the same amount of time that we allowed for each level. But I always wish that we could have pulled off Magic World.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
It would have been a lot of work.
Okay, never mind. It wouldn't have been really cool then.
It's a fun part of the comics. Like it's
yeah.
All right. Well, final question, man.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Man, this has been a wild ride through memory lane. Oh my god. It's weird to like sum up.
We're in our
like
series.
how many years of production into like a
4.5
20-minute call. Jesus.
34 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, go ahead, hit me.
What have you been up to since the game launched? Like what's Soda Piggy been doing?
Since
last Thanksgiving.
Since it launched.
Since we dropped the mic and we left.
Yeah, honestly. We were like, okay, done, bye. No, I work has really picked up. Put out a lot of games with Iron Horse. Got a lot of stuff there. Learned a lot about animation stuff. It's crazy. And then I started working on my own game that I'm just doing in my free time. That's been a whole thing because I'm getting into like data structures and stuff for that, and there's a lot more like how to read a file and put that data into the game for this nonsense. It's a lot more of that kind of stuff and less the fun game development side of things.
You'll get to the fun part.
That's been an experience. Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been spending a few months like just building out the engine, making sure
that's my favorite part.
It's fun. Building out the engine.
Yeah, I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's really fun. Yep. When it starts to work and come together, it feels great. And it makes those times that you're yelling at your computer like, "Why aren't you working?" It makes that worth it. It's like that insane frustration when you finally do it right. Feels great to get past that. Yeah. What about you? What you been up to?
I've had a bucket list of things I wanted to do with my own games. Like some of the games we worked together on, like Scare Spree. But like when you work on a game like Axe Cop and it really pushes you past like your comfort zone or what you're good at, and it makes you elevate your work, it makes your other stuff not feel as good. And so I've been working on elevating myself and my games. So I released the Red Triangle Super Collection, and it's
I saw that.
It's got a lot of remastered games on it, kind of with the level of polish that I put in Axe Cop. So yeah, it's been fun just kind of making a bunch of small games, because I don't know, small games are fun. I mean, big games are fun like Axe Cop, but like it's fun to just kind of chill and just take a couple months and just make something fun. Yeah,
it's probably nice because you can kind of take your time with it. You're not as pushed for like a release or whatever.
Yeah.
There was one that was like a Western type game and a match 3 type thing.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. What was up with that?
Black Bonanza. Yeah, he's a cowboy that fights ghosts by matching puzzles.
That's like the only way I know how to fight ghosts. That sounds like a game for me.
Matching 3 blocks in a row. I matched 3 blocks in a row. Ghost is dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not Pac-Man. You can't just pick up a power pellet.
No, strawberries aren't going to win this one. Just guns. Nope. Lots of guns.
Guns and, like, match 3.
Well, dude, like, thanks for making this game with me.
Thank you. It's been a really fun ride.
Yeah.
Definitely had, like, its ups and downs because our lives were in different places throughout production. But man, I'm so glad we did it. I'm glad we spent time on it together and like just we made the best game we could in the time we could.
I have no regrets. Yeah. Like everything.
Oh, same.
Every decision we made for the game, every decision we made in the game, like I think everything we did is putting our best foot forward, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm just I don't know. It's a year later, and I'm gonna play it again soon. I'm gonna use the characters that are on the shirt as my lineup.
Aren't those all the characters?
No, I didn't. I usually use Baby Man, Vampire Wolfer, Water Queen, and Axe Cop. But I'm gonna go with a team that I've never actually played the game through as, and see what that does. This Fire Slicer I don't really use, but it could be really hard or it could be really easy. So we'll find out.
Fire Slicer has some cool moves. So
he does. Yeah. He does. A lot of them are based around Mega Man, which is fun.
You brought up Mega Man a lot through this.
I love Mega Man. I think Mega Man X is a masterpiece of a game. But we're not talking about
Mega
Man today because we've already gone.
We are now. Let's go.
I'm trying to wrap the call up.
Mega Man X4 was the best game.
No, Mega Man X1's the best game. X4 is the game where they kind of did everything perfectly. But, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's another time.
Yeah. All right, man.
You know what's really exciting about this is we're gonna use the outro clip that Danimation made. This is gonna be the first time we use it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so right when this is over, it's gonna segue to that, and it's gonna be pretty sweet.
Wait, hold up. Before we get off, Bematenga.
Yeah.
General A. Aren't you working that into it now?
I'm gonna try to get that done with the Steam achievement thing for Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
No promises that it'll be there for Thanksgiving, but I feel really confident that the Steam achievements will be there. General A is gonna happen.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I've already written it out. It's hilarious. I don't want to ruin any of the plot points because it's super, super, super silly.
But it's cool. This is like some post-game new content that wasn't there before that you're putting out a year later.
Literally, the only hanging thread in the game was wrapping up General A. And
well, I'm glad we're getting it into it.
Yeah, it's gonna be 200% done now.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks again, and
thank you.
Have a great Thanksgiving. And,
all right, you too.
Yeah. And thanks for playing the game, everybody. We love making it, and we hope you love playing it.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.